Good day, everyone. This is Engineer Melissa, your instructor in Mechanics 104. So on this video, I will discuss the second stress na na-experience ng mga beams natin. Okay, so from the previous topics or the discussions that we had, we learned that there are two types of stress sa mga beams. First one is the flexural stress or the bending stress. Okay, so na-discuss natin about the symmetrical and then the unsymmetrical sections. And today, we will proceed to the next type of stress, which is the shear stress. So dito sa shear stress, also there is two types of shear stress. We have the horizontal and then the vertical shear stress. Okay, so before we proceed to the equations or the formula na gagamitin natin for this stress, let's have here a simple explanation kung paano ba nagwo-work yung shear stress or kung saan natin makikita yung horizontal and vertical shear stress sa mga beams natin. Okay? So here, we have a beam that is made up of wood planks. Ibig sabihin, pinagpatong-patong natin yung wood planks para makabuo tayo ng rectangular beam. Okay? So maglagay tayo dito ng force P. Yan. So dalawa yung magiging scenario natin dito. Una, this is the first scenario. Una is hindi natin lalagyan ng glue yung mga wood planks. Kumbaga, pagpapatong-patungin lang natin siya. Okay? Now, nung naglagay ka ng force P, yung mga wood planks na yon, since wala po silang glue, they will slide past one another. Okay, i-zoom in natin. Yan. Yung mga individual wood planks will resist the load independently. So, kanya-kanya sila. Okay? So, they will slide over each other. So, kung mapapansin nyo dito, ayan, hindi po pantay-pantay yung magiging bending ng ating mga planks dito because they are just sliding over each other. Therefore, walang resistance between them, di ba? Walang resistance between them kasi nga walang glue. Therefore, since wala pong resistance, there is no, or let's say a little or no shear transfer between each layer kasi nga they are not bonded. Okay? On the second scenario, this one, lagyan na natin ng glue ngayon yung mga wood planks. Okay? So, naglagay ka ng glue. Therefore, they will now act as a single entity or parang solid na siya, solid beam. So, the glue transfer the horizontal shear between the layers. Diba? Nag-bend siya. Now, since they are glued to each other, may transfer yung load dito sa mga wood planks and then magkakaroon ng resistance between these wood planks kasi nga meron ng glue. Therefore, if merong resistance between the layers, magkakaroon na ngayon tayo ng tinatawag na stress or the shear stress. Okay? So, this will act as a single solid beam and then the glue will transfer the horizontal shear between the layers. Okay? So, in practice, kaya mas advisable na gumamit tayo ng mga solid section compared sa mga built-up section because of these scenarios. Okay? Pag sinabi kasi nating solid beam, kunwari meron tayong I-beam, wide flange. Okay? So, it is acting as a single entity. So, solid siya. Okay? Nagawa siya as a solid. Pag sinabi nating built up, okay, may connection between the flange and the web. Okay? So, kunwari dito, gumamit ka ng plate para sa flange and another plate para sa web. And another plate para sa bottom flange. Okay? So, ito yung tinatawag natin na built up connection. So, dito, there is a connection or an interface between the flange and the web. So, to make sure na matibay itong ating section na to, dapat well-designed yung kanyang connection. Okay, para hindi siya mag-sliding or slipping. Kasi pag nagkaroon ng sliding dito or slipping, of course, there is no shear transfer now pag nilagyan natin ng loading. Unlike kasi dito, pag solid siya, it will act as a single entity, so the material will resist the shear as a solid or yung tinatawag natin na monolithic unit. Okay, so hindi ko naman sinasabi na bawal gumamit ng built-up section. Yun nga lang, we need to make sure that yung mga connections here, okay, usually this is naka-welded kasi siya, naka-welded. So make sure na well-connected sila para pag naglagay tayo ng loading, they will able to resist yung mga any sliding. Ang mahirap kasi dyan, pag hindi well-connected to, pag nilagyan mo na ng force, magi-slip or magi-slide. Magkakaroon ng sliding dito sa mga part na to. So, yan yung mga tinatawag natin ngayon na mga horizontal shear stresses dito sa mga interface na yan. Okay? Now, ano naman yung tinatawag natin na vertical shear stress? So, yung vertical shear stress, yun yung typical, di ba? Naglagay ka ng load dyan, force P. So, kailangan niya ng magre-resist for that sliding. So, yan yung vertical shear force. Therefore, pag merong shear force dito, matik meron dyang stress, shear stress. So, vertical shear stress. So, pag horizontal shear stress naman, dito, yung mga nag-a-act between the layers. Okay? So, those are the two types of shear stress in our beam. Okay? So, through derivation, nagkaroon po tayo dito ng equation or formula na gagamitin natin to compute for the average horizontal shear stress in the beam. Okay? So, nanggaling po to sa integration. So, hindi ko na po i-discuss. Okay? So, we have here the average horizontal shear stress formula or the shear stress formula for simplicity. So, it is equal to the shear force multiplied by the static moment of area, on which yung Q natin, the static moment of area, is equal to AY bar. So, A here is the area of the location of the shear considered, and Y bar is the distance from the neutral axis to the centroid of the shear considered. Okay. So, kunwari, ito, gusto nating makuha yung horizontal shear stress dito sa part na to, dito. Ayan. So, ang gagawin natin is, sige, drawing natin, sige, dito na lang. So, kunwari, gusto nating kukunin yung horizontal shear stress on this part. Okay, so ang gagawin natin dito is to consider muna kung nasaan yung neutral axis. So, around here. Yan, neutral axis. So, since ito yung kino-consider natin na area, shade natin yan. Okay, from that point, tapos dun sa taas niya. And then, if we want to get the static moment of area, we just need to multiply the area of this one. Ito, area, this shaded area. So, from this point, dun sa taas niya, multiplied by Y bar. So, yung Y bar natin is from the neutral axis papunta doon sa centroid nung kinukuha nating area. So, around here. Dito sa centroid niya. Okay, so yan yung Y bar. That is the static moment of area. Okay, now, pag ito naman yung gusto mong kunin ngayon, for example, dito, gusto mong kunin yung horizontal shear stress on this part. So, ang gagawin mo is to get the area of this one, area, multiplied by the Y bar. Again, yung Y bar natin is from the neutral axis papunta doon sa centroid ng shaded area. Okay? So, that is the static moment of area. And then, we also need the moment of inertia and the average width of the beam. Okay? So, that is now our formula for the shear stress, VQ all over IB, in which the Q is the static moment of area. Okay. Now, tignan natin kung paano naman yung distribution of the stress or yung tinatawag natin na stress diagram doon sa beam natin. Okay? We know na pag flexure yung pinag-uusapan, di ba? Pag flexure yung pinag-uusapan, ganito yung nagiging stress diagram niya. Okay? We know that the maximum stress occurs at the outermost fiber and then 0 doon sa neutral axis pag flexure. So, paano naman if shear stress yung kinukuha natin. Okay? So, let's consider here a rectangular section. Apply natin yung formula. So, this is our base and then height. Kuha tayo ng, okay, sample dito. Ito yung kukunin nating horizontal shear stress. Okay. So, shade natin yan. Tawagin din natin ito ngayong, this is our Y. So, yung Y, this is Y, not Y bar. Ang Y natin is from the neutral axis papunta doon sa kinukuha nating area. Okay, dito sa part na to, Y. So, this one is our H all over 2. Okay. So, apply natin ngayon yung ating formula. This is equal to VQ all over IB. Okay. So, yung Q natin, sige, dito muna, VIB. So, yung Q natin is equal to AY bar. So, the area of the shaded one. So, this is B multiplied by, ano yung height niya? The height is H all over 2 minus Y. Again, H all over 2 minus Y. H all over 2 minus Y. Okay? So, that is the area. And then, ano yung kanyang Y bar? Y bar is from the neutral axis papunta doon sa centroid ng shaded. Therefore, we have Y plus, okay, Y plus, ano yung distance na yan? We have H all over 2 minus Y divided by 2. Okay? H all over 2 minus Y divided by 2. Okay? So, yan na yung Y bar natin. Okay? So, let's simplify. So po pwede na nating i-cancel to ngayon, no? Ayan, B. Tapos pwede nating ilabas yung 2 actually. This one, the denominator. So V all over 2I. And then ayusin natin yung mga natira sa loob. We have H all over 2 minus Y. And then we have here Y plus wait lang. Hindi pala po pwedeng i-direct. Hindi pala siya kasama doon. Wait lang. Hindi pa natin po pwedeng ilabas ng basta-basta si 2. Ayusin muna natin yung fourth term. This one. Simplify natin. Ito. Okay. So, simplify muna natin to. So, magiging 2y plus h all over 2 minus y, right? Divided by 2. Okay? Tsaka natin ngayon ilalabas yung 2. So, magiging v all over 2i multiplied by, cancel na yung b dyan. So, we have h all over 2 minus y. And then, natira yung numerator. We have 2y minus y. So, y plus h all over 2. Right? Okay. Sige, ayusin natin para same. So, magiging v all over 2i. Ayusin lang natin. We have negative y plus h all over 2. Tapos y plus h all over 2. Okay? So, distribute natin or expand natin yan. So, magiging negative y squared plus hy all over 2 minus hy all over 2 plus h squared all over 4. Okay? So, cancel out yan. Cancel out. Therefore, magiging v all over 2i multiplied by h squared all over 4 minus y squared. Okay. So, the term in y is in squared. Ibig sabihin, the stress varies parabolically sa section natin. Okay. Again, the term in y is in square. Ibig sabihin, the stress varies parabolically sa section. So, if i-drawing natin yung magiging stress diagram in terms of shear, ganito po yung mangyayari. Okay? So, from this point, okay, drawing natin dyan. So, parabolically, ibig sabihin, parabola, okay? So, ganyan yung magiging stress diagram. Ibig sabihin, the maximum shear stress will occur at, saan? Sa may neutral axis. Dito natin makikita yung maximum shear stress. And then, habang lumalay tayo sa neutral axis, lumiliit din yung ating shear stress. Okay? Bakit? Okay. So, tingnan natin. I-imagine natin kanina yung wood planks. Okay? Kunwari, wood planks pa rin yan. Wood planks. Okay. So, for this one, dito kasi sa part na to, okay, wala nang layer. So, wala nang bond from another layer. Therefore, there is no resistance. Automatic. There is no shear stress or a little stress lang yung mangyayari dyan. Same true with this one. So, since yung ating layer is banded doon sa top, dito yung banded niya. So, maliit lang yung resistance na mangyayari dito. And then, habang lumalayo tayo dito or habang lumalaki yung wood planks or I mean, habang lumalaki or dumadami yung wood planks na nakapatong sa kanya, mas lumalaki din yung resistance. Kaya, yung shear stress dito is at maximum sa may neutral axis. Okay? So, ganun din sa may I-beam natin. Kunwari, meron tayong I-beam. Okay? Yan. I-drawing naman natin yung stress diagram ngayon. Okay? So, since walang any layer dito, so pwede nating i-assume yan na 0 yung maging stress dyan. Tapos dito, nagkaroon na ng interface. Therefore, magkakaroon yun ng stress. Diba? Ayan, stress. And then, ito sa may neutral axis, ayan. Okay? So, ganito naman ngayon yung magiging illustration. So, maliit lang yung stress na may experience dito sa ating flange. So, pag I-beam yung pinag-uusapan. Actually, ganito yung illustration eh. Pag parabolically pa rin siya, pero ganito kasi. Maliit lang talaga dito sa part na to. Maliit lang. Tapos, dito. Parang ganyan. Okay? Kaya yung magiging stress diagram of our I section. Okay? So, yung mga I-beams natin, they are perfectly manufactured to resist bending. Yung flange niya will resist the bending. And then, yung kanyang web will resist the shear stress. Okay? Pero yung ating rectangular sections, yun nga, as we have discussed doon sa previous topics, they are inefficient in terms of bending. Okay? Inefficient in terms of bending, but the design is good for shear. Okay? Kasi alam natin na dito sa may neutral axis, doon nangyayari yung maximum shear stress. Okay? So, ayan. And then, we also have specific formula na po pwede natin gamitin sa rectangles. Okay? So, ito kasi yung general formula. General formula yan. Po pwede niyang gamitin for any section, but there is a specific equation for rectangle. Okay, so let's have here a rectangular section. Ayan. So, kung gusto natin kunin yung maximum shear stress, alam na natin na nasa neutral axis yan, di ba? So, ang i-consider ngayon natin na area is ito. Because of the illustration na nasabi nga natin kanina that the maximum shear stress will happen at the neutral axis. So, ito na yung i-consider mo ngayon na area. So, we have here B tapos H all over 2. So, apply natin yung VQ all over IB. Okay? So, we have here the V tapos yung Q natin is AY bar. Ano yung area? So, we have B multiplied by H all over 2. And then, yung Y bar ngayon natin is from this point papunta dito. So, that is H all over 2 divided by 2. Okay? H all over 2 divided by 2, or in other words, that is H all over 4. Okay? And then, ano yung I natin? Pag rectangular, we have 112 PH cube. And then we have B. Okay, so simplify natin. Magiging, kung pwede tayong mag-cancel dito ng B. Ayan, cancel natin yung B. Cancel din yung H cube. So magiging 1 na lang yan, di ba? Kasi H squared to. And then, anong natira sa taas? Sige. So we have B. Ano pa yung natira? We have 8. Tama? Ang natira is, yan, 1 all over 8. Tapos sa denominator, meron pang natirang B, H all over 12. Okay, so ayusin natin. So magiging 12B all over 8BH. Okay, simplify natin. So 12 divided by 8. So 12 divided by 4. So we have 3. 8 divided by 4. We have 2. B. Ano yung BH natin? BH is what? This is now the area of the rectangle. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, ito po yung equation natin for the maximum shear stress in rectangular section. So, 3 halves of VA, or it is equal to 1.5 of the average shear stress in the beam. Okay? 1.5 of the average shear stress in the beam. Now, po pwede nyo gamitin to, or po pwede rin naman to. Wala namang pinagbago. Dinerive lang natin talaga. Okay, kasi on your higher years, usually naman rectangular sections yung mga may encounter nyo. At least familiar na kayo doon sa equations or doon sa formula na gagamitin natin specifically for rectangle. So that is 3 halves of VA. Okay? Meron din tayo for circle. Meron din for circle. Madederive din siya using this one, VQ all over IB. If I'm not mistaken, it is 4/3 VA. Okay, so pwede nyo naman siyang i-derive later on. Gamitin nyo lang to. Okay. So proceed na po tayo sa vertical shear stress. So a shear stress is always accompanied by a complementary shear stress of equal magnitude. The two stresses acting on mutually perpendicular plane. And then the vertical stress T prime or tau prime acting at a point on a cross section is equal to the longitudinal shear stress tau acting at the same point. Okay. Explain natin yan through this simple illustration here. Okay, so meron daw tayo ditong section of the beam, and then we have here a shear force. Okay, so kuha tayo dito ng sample or a differential sample, maliit na sample from our section. So ito yon, zoom in natin, ito na yung makikita natin. Okay, so vertical force po yung na-apply dito, so automatic meron tayong vertical shear stress. Okay? So, i-simplify na lang natin para maintindihan natin ng mas maayos kasi i-derive natin dito kung ano ba yung relationship ng horizontal shear stress with the vertical shear stress. Okay, so tawagin natin itong tau V para sa vertical, tau V, and then tau H para sa horizontal shear stress. Okay, so since we want to maintain an equilibrium, so dapat lang na merong force dito that is different in direction. Okay? And then, meron din tayo ditong horizontal shear stress. Of course, magkaiba din sila ng direction. Okay. So, i-convert natin tong stress block. Ang tawag dyan is stress block. Okay, stress block. i-convert natin yung stress block into their respective forces. Okay? So, stress is equal to VA, di ba? So, meron tayo si stress. Kailangan kong i-convert it into the vertical force. Or, I mean, the force, the shear force. So, magiging formula is tau multiplied by the area, di ba? Okay, unahin natin dito. So, ano yan? So, we have the horizontal shear stress multiplied by ano yung area that is in parallel with this one. We have, ayan yung mga dimension guys, dx, this is dy, tapos yung dz ito. Okay, so ano yung area? Parallel to our horizontal shear stress horizontal. So we have dx multiplied by dz. Okay, dx, dz. So of course, same sila dito, di ba? Different lang sa, magkaiba lang ng direction. So, we have dx, dz. Okay. Next, dito naman sa vertical shear stress. So, we have the tau v multiplied by, ano yung area? Parallel to this one, we have dy, dz. dy, dz. Okay? And then, of course, same dito. dy, dz. Okay. So, let's take a moment at any point dito sa ating block. Kunwari, kukuha ko dito ng point A. Pwede rin dito, dyan, or anywhere. Basta meron kayong reference point. Okay. So, kunin natin yung moment dyan. Summation of moment at point A is equal to 0. Counterclockwise positive. So, automatic, magka-cancel na yan, di ba? Magka-cancel yan. So, meron tayong natitirang dalawa. So, unahin natin ito. So, we have negative tau v multiplied by dy dz. Ano yung kanyang moment arm? We have dx. And then this one, plus tau h dx, dz, moment arm is dy, is equal to 0. Okay? So, transpose natin sa kabila yung isa. So, we have dx, dz, dy is equal to tau v, dy, dz, dx. Okay? So, kung makapansin nyo, parehas lang ito, di ba? Ayan, no? dy, dz, dx. dy, dz, dx. Parehas sila. So, we can cancel it out. Therefore, our horizontal shear stress is just equal to our vertical shear stress. Okay? So, parehas lang po yung value ng magiging horizontal shear stress natin versus the vertical shear stress. Okay? Basta yung vertical shear stress kasi it is often caused by external shear forces, and then na-observe natin siya sa cross-section. Okay? And then yung sa horizontal shear stress naman, usually nag-act siya parallel to the beam length or doon sa mga interfaces ng mga fibers. Okay? So internal distribution of shear naman yung na-experience yan, and yun nga, it occurs at the interfaces between the beam layers. But overall, parehas yung magiging value of the shear stress, vertical and horizontal. Okay? So let's proceed now to the limitations of the shear stress formula. Okay, so the shear stress formula predicts that the largest shear stress in a prismatic beam occurs at the cross-section that carries the largest vertical shear force, P. Okay, so yung PQ all over IB natin, ang gagamitin nating P dito is the largest vertical shear force or yung Vmax. Okay, so usually, okay, naaral naman na natin yan sa chapter 4, usually the shear or the maximum shear stress occurs at the support. Okay? At the support or near the support. Okay. So the location or the value of Y of the maximum shear stress within that section is determined by the ratio of Q all over B. Q is always maximum at Y is equal to 0. The neutral axis is usually a candidate for the location of the maximum shear stress. Okay. So nasabi natin kanina na yung ating maximum shear stress will happen at the neutral axis. Therefore, yung Q na gagamitin natin is at the largest. Kasi ito na po yung Q, di ba? So, ito na yung pinaka-maximum na area na po pwede natin i-consider. Okay? And then, however, if the width B of the neutral axis is larger than at the other parts of the cross-section, it is necessary to compute tau at 2 or more values of Y before its maximum value can be determined. Okay? So, very specific to doon sa mga built-up section. Okay? Ito yung mga sections na hindi pantay-pantay or hindi pare-parehas yung magiging width of the beam. So, pag ganon, we need to consider 2 or more locations ng possible location of those maximum shear stress. Okay, don't worry, meron naman tayong example niyan mamaya. Okay, so for number 4, when deriving the shear stress formula, tau should be considered at the average shear stress. And then the shear stress formula is sufficiently accurately for rectangular cross sections and for cross sections that are composed of rectangles such as W and S shapes. For other cross-sectional shapes, the formula must be applied with quotient. Okay? So yung shear stress formula is well-designed for rectangular and then sa mga regular shapes natin that are composed of rectangles. But then again, we can also use that for any other cross-sectional shape. Basta tignan natin ng maayos kung saan yung maximum V or maximum stress na mangyayari kasi iba-iba sila ng width B. Okay? So, i-determine natin yan mamaya sa example. So, we have here a simple procedure for the analysis of the shear stress. For number 1, use equilibrium analysis to determine the vertical shear force V. Okay, so isulat muna natin yung equation. So, the average horizontal shear stress is equal to VQIB. So, use equilibrium analysis to determine the vertical shear force. Ito, acting on the cross-sectional containing the specific or the specified point. So, using shear diagram, or if you're already familiar kung saan talaga yung exact location of the maximum shear force, then you may also use section. Okay. And then locate the neutral axis and compute the moment of inertia of the cross-sectional area about the neutral axis. So this one, compute the moment of inertia, and then compute the first moment Q of the cross-sectional area that lies above or below the specified point. So Q is equal to AY bar. Okay, so sabi niya dito that lies below or above the specified point. Okay, ganito kasi, if we have a rectangular section, this is the neutral axis. Di ba ganito yung kanyang stress diagram? Parehas lang kasi yung stress dito. Ayan, kunyari, project natin dyan. Parehas lang yung stress dyan compared dito sa baba. Basta same sila ng Y bar. Parehas. Okay? Kagaya din nung doon sa flexural stress. So, kung ano yung stress dito, as long as same sila ng distance, Y, so same. Okay? So, pwedeng i-consider yung nasa taas or yung nasa baba. It's up to you. Okay? So, calculate the shear stress from tau is equal to VQIB, where B is the width of the cross-section at the specified point. Okay. So, for this one sa number 3, guys, paano pag hindi regular shape? Kunwari meron tayong T section, kunwari. Okay. So, ganun pa rin naman, guys. Hanapin mo lang yung neutral axis niya, neutral axis. So, kung ano yung stress dito sa taas, ganun din naman yung magiging stress sa baba. I mean, the maximum shear stress, same kung ito yung area na i-consider mo, and then same din pag dito. Okay, meron akong i-illustrate mamaya dyan for our last example. And then, we have here some reminders or notes to consider. Number 1, the maximum shear stress on a given cross-section occurs where Q all over B is at largest. Okay, so usually ratio of the Q all over B, kung saan magbibigay ng malaking ratio, doon yung maximum shear stress. And then if the width B is constant, then maximum shear stress occurs at the neutral axis because that is where Q has its maximum value. And if B is not constant, it is necessary to compute the shear stress at more than 1 point in order to determine its maximum value. Okay? So yan. Let's have now our sample problem 1. Okay, the simply supported wood beam is fabricated by gluing together 3 160mm by 80mm planks. This is planks as shown. Calculate the maximum shear stress in the glue and in the wood. Okay, so meron daw tayong 3 pieces of wood planks with a size of 80 by 160. Okay, so pinagpatong-patong para maging beam. Okay, ayan. 3 wood planks. Ganyan, yung magiging itsura ng beam natin. Ayan. So, asaan yung 80 and then asaan yung 160? Ito po yung 160 millimeter. Tapos, ito po yung 80. Okay, so paano ko kinonsider to? I need to make a rectangular section. So, dapat regular shape pa rin tayo. Hindi naman binanggit kung paano yung orientation. Therefore, we will assume again doon sa stronger axis, which is this one, di ba? So, pag pinag-add up ko yung 80, so magiging 240, di ba? Tapos, this is 160. Hindi, ganyan na. Kasi pag ang kinonsider mo is pabaliktad naman, ganito yung 160 tapos 80. This is 160 tapos 80. Then we have here 160 ulit and then 160. Okay, masyado kasi itong mataas, or let's say this is stiff, no? 160 times 3, ilan ba yun? 160 times 3, so we have 480 tapos by 80 lang. So pag naging solid yan, 480 by 80. Okay. Too stiff. So prone to flexural buckling. Okay? So for this one, or I mean lateral buckling, prone to lateral buckling. So I assume na ganito yung magiging itsura, 160 by 240. But anyway, given kasi dapat yan. Given dapat kasi hindi ka na ilagay. So yan, ito na yung magiging section. Okay? 160 and then 80. Now, pinapahanap yung maximum shear stress doon sa glue. Ibig sabihin dito sa part na to kung saan natin ilalagay yung glue. So we have here on this part or on this part. Okay. And the wood, ibig sabihin, we will now consider it as a whole entity. Whole entity siya. Okay? So, unahin muna natin yung first one, yung shear stress at the glue. So, our formula is equal to VQ all over IB. Okay, so we need to determine yung maximum shear force dito or yung Vmax. Okay. So, we have here the reaction. Ano yung reaction dyan? Again, this is a simply supported, tapos uniformly distributed pa siya. Okay, so paghahatian lang nila yung load. So 8 kilonewton per meter multiplied by 6. So 48 divided by 2. So magiging 24. Okay, 24 kilonewton, 24 kilonewton. Okay, so drawing na natin yung kanyang shear diagram. Actually, alam na natin kung saan mangyayari yung Vmax, di ba? Sabi natin, it will happen most of the time at the support. Hindi, 24 na yan, di ba? Pero, patunayan natin. So, we have here, 24 kilo. Is there any vertical? Yes, 24. And then, is there any area? Yes, we have 24 minus, ano yan, rectangle, 8 multiplied by 6. So, magiging negative 24. Negative 24. And then, is there any vertical force? Yes, we have 0. Okay, so ito yung magiging shear diagram, di ba? So, determine now the Vmax. So, the Vmax is equal to 24 kilonewton. Yan na, 24 kilonewton. Ma'am, kailan to bang i-show the shear diagram pag ganito? Kahit hindi na. Okay, kasi alam naman na natin that the maximum shear force will occur most probably near the support or at the support. Okay? Pero pag ganyan na hindi po siya typical loading, edi dun yung drawing yung magiging shear diagram. Okay? Meron na tayong B. Next is Q. We have here B natin is 24 kilonewton. So, 24 kilonewton. So, times 10 raised to 3 newton. Okay, Q. Ano yung Q natin? Q is equal to AY bar. Ano yung kino-consider? The shear stress at the glue. So, ito po yun, di ba? Yan. First is kailangan muna nating hanapin yung neutral axis. So, this is the neutral axis. Tapos ito, dito sa part na to, yung hinahanap natin yung shear stress. Okay, so ang rule natin kanina is to consider yung area doon sa above nung ating kino-consider. Okay, so yan na po yung A. And then ano yung Y bar? Y bar is from the neutral axis papunta doon sa centroid ng ating area na kino-consider. So that is Y bar. So what is the area? We have 160 multiplied by, ano yan, 80. Tagi 80 yan, 80, 80. 160 multiplied by 80, and then the Y bar is, from this point papunta dyan, we have 40. Kalahati, 40. Plus, dito, we also have 40. Okay, so meron ka ng Q. Ano yan, naka-millimeter lahat yan, naka-millimeter. So this is millimeter, millimeter, millimeter. Okay. And then yung ating I, moment of inertia is 1 all over 12. Base is 160. Height is 80 times 3. So we have 240 cube. Okay, BH cube. And then yung base natin, ito yung consider mong B, we have 160. Okay? So naka-millimeter yan. This one is naka-millimeter raised to 4. Okay. So the vertical shear stress at the glue is equal to Okay, so this is equal to 0.833. 833, ano yung mga naiwan nating unit? So, dito sa taas, meron tayong Newton dot millimeter cube. Tapos sa baba, meron tayong millimeter raised to 5. Okay, so cancel. So, we are left with Newton per square millimeter or megapascal. Okay, so that is now the maximum shear stress in the glue. Next, in the wood. Okay, ibig sabihin, we will consider it as a whole. Okay. Ang magiging illustration natin, sige, ilagay ko na dito. So, as a whole entity na po siya. So, this is 160 and then 240, whole entity. This is the neutral axis. Okay. So, we have here VQ all over IB. We will be using the same value of shear force, guys. Vmax pa rin tayo. So, we have here 24 times 10 raised to 3 Newton. Ano naman yung Q natin ngayon? Since as a whole entity na yung kino-consider natin, sabi natin kanina, the maximum shear stress will happen at the neutral axis. Okay, so from this point, ito yung hahanapin mo ngayon, ditong area, yung hahanapin mo yung kanyang horizontal shear stress, and then, consider mo yung area sa taas niya. It's either area sa taas or baba, agpada. Okay, same po sila. So we have here, 160 multiplied by, 240 divided by 2. So we have 120. Okay, 120. Multiplied by, this is your area. Y bar. Y bar is from this point papunta dito. Ilan yan? 120 divided by 2. Guys, this is yung 120 120, 120. So 120 divided by 2, we have 60. Okay, and then yung I mo, parehas pa rin, 1 over 12. 160 by 240 cube multiplied by, kung ano yung B mo dito, 160. Okay. Therefore, we have okay, so we have here 0.9375 megapascal. Okay? 9375 megapascal.